Hi, my name's Janice and welcome to the AstroHauteLife channel. And if this is your first time to this channel, welcome. So glad you're here. And if you are a returning viewer, thank you too. And you also know that this accent is completely fake. So I'm going to continue with my real accent. I really wish I had a British accent though. I think a lot of people do. So I tried to record this video at least a good solid 7 times, and not like, 30 seconds in and then there's an issue. Like, there are times where I recorded 45-minute long videos pertaining to this message, and it did not work out. And I feel like there was something significant that I was intended to learn, and I feel like that's part of this message that Spirit really wants me to share right now. And it's not really a statement, it's more of a question. And typically we have questions for our spirit team or a higher power or whatever, but this time the roles are reversed. Spirit is asking us, how committed are we? Are we only committed when things are going smooth and easy, when all the resources that we need are right in front of us, when we have more than enough time, or when everyone's nice to us and we feel like we're getting the support we need, or when your videos aren't randomly deleted or won't upload? How committed are you? So I'm going to dive deeper into this message because I feel like that's what Spirit wants me to share, and we'll see what else comes through in the cards. So let's begin. I'm going to begin with some oracle cards and we'll move to tarot. We're just going to go with the flow. We're going to just go with the flow. So let's see what comes through. Oh God. Okay, so 4 cards just came out already. I'm gonna read those. Oh my gosh, all right. I'm just saying that because I saw the bottom of the deck card, which I'll share in a bit. And then now let me shuffle tarot cards. Oops, one card. Save that one. I feel like that was meant to happen, so got it. Boom. I'll read out everything that came out shortly. There's a huge chunk that flipped over, so I'm just gonna shuffle again. Okay, let's get a few more. One more card. Perfect. Use some from this deck. Ooh. Okay, let's skip ahead. Let's get 2 more cards from this deck. Oh, I love this. Oh my gosh. And then I will shuffle the Rumi deck at the end. So I don't have this set up where you can see all the cards. I'm just going to read what came out. And I feel like you may not be able to see because the words are in reverse, but here we go. We have compassion. The vibration of compassion shines through my every cell. Passion. I passionately accept and love myself. Sure. Okay. Sanctuary. I am divinely guided, gently and lovingly. Transformation. I am joyously centered and safe as wonderful changes occur around me. And for our tarot card, before I continue on to the tarot cards, on the bottom of the deck for this deck was focus. All of my thoughts are directed towards my highest good. Didn't see that coming. Just kidding. It's obvious. All right. For the tarot cards, we have 10 of Cups reverse. We have a Wheel of Fortune. We have the Hermit reverse. We have the 7 of Wands reverse. We have the Knight of Cups. Page of Cups. 2 of Swords. And the 8 of Cups. And in our Moonology cards, first we have Take Time to Breathe Out. Disseminating Moon, I think I said that right. We have Mutable Moon, nothing's yet set in stone. We have Full Moon in Aries with a fiery climax approaches. And then you'll be happy to see this one. New Moon, a new start is coming. And at the bottom of the deck, we have Your Dreams Need a Practical Plan. And I forgot to mention the bottom of the deck card for the tarot cards when we had 5 of Cups. So for my collective watching this video, I see here that a lot of you are extremely hard on yourself. When you look back, you think maybe things could have been differently. Maybe my situation right now wouldn't be as challenging had I done things more, I don't know. Had I done things differently, had I done things more effectively, like maybe instead of going left, I should have gone right. And if I went right, then I wouldn't have this particular challenge in front of me. And it's kind of frustrating because not maybe, but the change you did make or the action you took was guided. You felt so strongly, you knew it was right. So for example, let's say you start a business, but then like instead of making money, you're in more debt than when you started. Like I just felt so called and drawn to it. Maybe I should have done things differently. Maybe I should have bought less inventory, blah, blah, like, but I just knew that this was right. So why am I here? And this is being like clarified more or like expanded upon with the 10 of Cups in reverse and the Knight of Cups. So it's just like, why aren't things going the way I thought they would have? Like, am I not wise? Am I not a good business person? Did I choose the wrong relationship? Like, whatever it is, fitted to your situation. This is collective, so it's not gonna be extremely specific. But Spirit wants you to know that you should have compassion on yourself. I mean, it doesn't matter if you didn't make the right choice. Like, what is the right choice? And that's the thing. There wasn't a right choice you could have made. You're meant to be here. Yeah, it feels painful to be here because it's not like maybe you're in a state of confusion. And sometimes you feel good. Sometimes you're like, okay, everything's going to work out fine. Or I can see how things are going to, tie together. And other days you're just like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? I don't know what to do. And it creates so much tension inside and you feel stuck. And it's just kind of like, I feel like with this card, the imagery on this card, it depicts a lot of what you may be experiencing inside, which is, I feel so close, but I don't know how to get to the water, and maybe you feel exhausted at this time. And for many of you, you may be like experiencing some shame as a result. And you have nothing to be ashamed of. Everyone makes choices that don't pan out the way that they think it's going to go. And that's okay. That's part of the human experience. You're not somehow deficient or less of a person because the external reality of another person seems much easier or much more desirable than where you are right now. But if you think about the most successful people, a lot of times they had to go through really tough challenges. And my dear, you're one of those successful people, and start seeing yourself that way. And I'm also getting that, like, for many of you, you've lost your passion. Maybe you love dancing, but then you feel like you're not really getting recognition for it. So maybe you create some TikTok videos. I'm just making up an example. This is not going to be for everyone, but if it happens to be, that'd be interesting. But let's say you make some TikTok videos and you're dancing, and then you feel like someone can just do this. I don't know, whatever that motion is. And then they get like 1.5 million likes, and then you put on like this whole show. Like you're doing acrobatics, I don't know, you're doing backflips, you're throwing it in a circle, and you get like 15 likes. And it's not that you do it only for the likes, but it's just kind of like, hey, some external validation would be a little nice. Like I put in so much effort into this. So am I really making the right thing? Am I just fooling myself? And maybe you get like a comment from a hater or two. It's like, crap, like this is uncomfortable. I'm doing what I love, and like follow your bliss, but my bliss is not really feeling very blissful anymore. And I feel like there's been many seasons that you felt like this. For some of you, it could be weeks, months, or even years. And you're just like losing your passion because it seems like whenever you begin to get excited, like, oh my God, things are finally gonna change. Like there's just more density to like work through, and you're just kind of over it. And maybe you're not super like, maybe you don't feel a lot of heavy emotions about it right now. Maybe you're coming out of that. But for many of you watching this, that's where you're at. And yeah, with this Page of Cups, what I'm getting, the message coming through with this card is just like, it doesn't feel as good as it, like, it's like your cup isn't filled. And I mean, there's a bunch of water behind you and all this water. I mean, it looks like there's plenty, but it seems like it's not reaching your cup. Like it's not quite getting you excited. I don't know why I did that. So Spirit wants you to remember that you are divinely guided. And as it says here, I am divinely guided gently and lovingly. And even though you're going through a winter season where it seems like everything appears to be barren, but believe it or not, you're still like nurtured and divinely supported by life. I mean, the fact that you're even watching this, you still have eyes to see or ears to hear, or both. You have access to electronics, internet, YouTube. And there's like a lot of people that don't. And I'm not saying that to dismiss whatever you're going through, but I think it's important to remember like the various ways you are supported. Like if you think about it, even just like going to use the bathroom on your own. Like some people, they have to use catheters, I don't know, but there's little things we take for granted. And if you happen to be using a catheter, there's some people who have to use something else. I don't know all the medical stuff. My mom's a nurse, not me. But for example, I was I was washing my windows today, like any normal person, and I just happened to look outside, and I saw the most beautiful sunset. And typically I like overlook it. I was like, oh my gosh, like this is annoying, it's hot, it's sticky, it's Florida. But it was just so stunning, and I felt like, wow, what a blessing that I get to see something like this. Some people have never seen a sunset in their life, and maybe they may have more money than me, or they may have more of some other resource than me, but I'm so grateful for what I do have. And I'm not trying to tell you to compare your situation to others, but I think it's important to take inventory of what we do have supporting us. But for many of you, because of like this tumultuous time, or times where you felt like you didn't make the right decision, or you're questioning your decisions, or maybe you're feeling a little impatient, or maybe you feel a bit hesitant or doubtful that things will be great or amazing. And because of that, you kind of like have suppressed or limited your personal expression of whatever you're passionate about or whatever you feel called to do. And with this Two of Swords card, like, I'm definitely getting that many of you watching this right now, and this is timeless, but many of you watching this feel like, should I stay or should I go? Like, totally all about the clash right now. And you have like these two swords. In a way, the reason why you feel stuck, yeah, this is the way he has it. The reason why you feel stuck is because you're not really committed to one or the other. You could be committed to the past if you want to, no judgment there. But how committed are you to the future? However, your commitment may not be fully expressed because there's some confusion, and I'm getting that with like the moon here. And with this orange color in the background, as it pertains to this message, I feel like there's just like a lot of guilt and a lot of, it's interesting because like it makes me think of the Sacral Chakra, and that is like the pleasure center or passion. And I feel like that's something that is being healed right now, because it's contributing to this stalemate, to this like stuck feeling. And the thing that's needing to be released here is like a lot of the guilt, because you should have compassion for yourself instead. And that's how you heal it, because you did the best you could. For example, if you started a business and then you ended up like filing bankruptcy instead, did you do it with the intent of filing bankruptcy? Absolutely not. Did you do it to like use up your kids' college fund? No, you didn't do that. You didn't have that intention at all. You know, it's life sometimes. I'm not trying to be negative, but sometimes we take the shot and we miss. But it doesn't mean that we can't make the shot again. And then here, the good news is that with the transformation card, I am joyously centered and safe as wonderful changes occur around me. And the good news about that is that like Spirit wants you to know that it's safe to expect good things in your future. It may be hard to, because you're like, okay, the math doesn't add up. Let's do some algebra here. A plus B does not equal Z. And A is my script from the past. B is my current situation. C is the outcome. I don't see, oh, it's funny. I don't see how like things can turn out to be so amazing, because I know many of you are getting messages. I feel something's on my lip. I know many of you are getting messages that say, oh, like you're gonna have this breakthrough moment, and you've heard it so many times. And then because the breakthrough didn't happen in tangible ways, you were like, okay, maybe that was for someone else. Maybe it was hopeful thinking. Am I really even worthy of this? Is it really possible for me to have this amazing breakthrough? And in this message, Spirit is saying, absolutely. But you have to truly believe it. And it's interesting here too. We have a little caterpillar and a butterfly. And I feel like, notice how the caterpillar, or like this cocoon here, is like super tight and bound. And I don't know the process I don't know like the details behind what, behind how a caterpillar makes the whole cocoon, but I'm sure like it just felt naturally and intuitively guided to do it. Like, okay, I ate a bunch of leaves and now I'm gonna make a cocoon. And it's probably like in the cocoon and it's like liquid goo. It's constricted. It's this tight, like little mummy looking thing here. I guess a bug version of that. And it's like, what the heck is going on? And it's dark. It doesn't know what's going on outside of it. It doesn't see the transformation happening inside because it's in it. However, it's not forever. It's going to change, and the things that it's going to be even bigger and experience different possibilities that it would never have been able to as a caterpillar. And going to these Moonology cards, I feel like it's just expanding more on the previous messages. Take a time to breathe out. Breathe out. I feel like you're holding your breath. You know, that feeling of like, you're waiting for the shoe to drop. It's okay, breathe out, expand, release, relax. Way easier said than done, I know. I'm part of this collective message too. But it's okay. It's safe to do so. And that's how you break free. Because the thing is that the consciousness that led to this point will not save you and get you out of it. It will just be more of the same. But if you accept the past for what it is, and you're just like, that's the past, and instead of focusing on my past to predict my future, I'm going to state what I want for my future. And granted, I don't know all the ins and outs, I don't know all the details, but I'm just going to try my best, and I know that life will support me. And I get that it's not always an easy choice to make. And the things that, like, I'm getting 2 messages of this card. Nothing is yet set in stone. I feel like in a way you're kind of wavering back and forth. Like some days you're like, okay, everything's gonna be fine. And then the next day you're just like, oh my God, how am I gonna deal with this? Like maybe you got a bad doctor's report, or maybe like more bills come in. Maybe just as you feel like, okay, I got this, I can get the car repaired. And then like the next day, Billy falls off a tree and then breaks his leg. Billy is your hypothetical son. So what do you do? Like, oh my gosh, now I have this bill to deal with. And it's like, I'm just getting so much confusion here. And what Spirit wants you to know is that you're safe and it's okay. So fiery climax approaches. And I feel like for many of you, it's like, you think this could be just like everything coming, like burning down and coming, like, I don't know, hail and fire from the sky is just gonna come and just like make everything worse. But I'm getting that like, that's not the case at all. I feel like this is tied to the passion card, where it's saying that like, you're gonna get your passion back. However, with like the Aries symbol here, I feel that you're being encouraged to initiate that fiery climax. And it sounds crazy because you're like, okay, I don't know what to do, so how am I going to initiate something that's going to change my life if I don't know what the next best step is? And I feel like what Spirit is trying to communicate is that if you just take a step of faith, it doesn't matter what direction it's in, but just take one. I guess it does matter the direction. That means forward. We don't want to go backward unless you want to, because there's no pressure, free will. But like if you like maybe take a left, like you're safe as long as in the direction forward. If you maybe start off moving right, it's okay as long as you're moving forward. But the things that like the challenge or the opportunity here is for you to experience what it feels like to believe in yourself after a huge or maybe even several setbacks. Wow. And the card that came here that was pretty amazing, that made me super excited, that made me smile, was a new start is coming. And it's interesting that it comes up after the fiery climax approaches, because that triggers the new start. And it's not saying that like, oh, you're on your own, you're unsupported, you got to make things work. But it's more so that like Spirit needs to see what you are committed to. Like you have so much more power than you realize. Because if you're kind of saying, okay, like I kind of want to have more of the past, but I also want to move forward, you're not really communicating a clear message to the quantum field as to what you want to experience or manifest in your life. You're kind of like going back and forth. And these waves kind of remind me of like the scripture, like I forgot, oh my God, I'm probably gonna butcher this. It's like someone of wavering faith should not expect to receive anything. And like it was alluded to the waves, like you go back and forth, like you're not going anywhere. So that's the message that came through with that. And it's very interesting how fast like time's flying. I can't believe it's already 24 minutes. But now I'm just gonna like read the, oh, I almost forgot something. Oh my gosh, so much I'm forgetting today. But it's okay. I'm gonna have compassion. At the bottom of the deck card from Moonology was your dreams need a practical plan. Full moon in Taurus. And once again, just create a plan. It doesn't need to be perfect. You may have lost confidence in yourself and you feel like, oh, I don't know if I should create a plan because the last time I did it, it didn't work out well. But just like take one more step of faith, because if you don't, you're just going to stay stuck. And you're going to keep looking out. Like, you give your power away if you're looking for something outside of you to dictate what that next step is going to be. So just create a practical plan. It could just be like, okay, it could be small. I know many of you are feeling tired and exhausted, but just make it small, make it go. Make it go forward. There we go. And I want to go back to this focus card to the bottom of the other deck, which is all my thoughts are directed towards my highest good. So, which is great. Which goes great with the message that came up earlier, which is you're maybe going back and forth. Like, sometimes you have faith, sometimes you don't, but like, what do you truly believe is true? Because what you believe is what's going to influence your actions. And it's not a matter of like saying, oh, you need to be strong and perfect enough before you can be blessed. No, like it's interesting the frogs are going. Are many of you seeing frogs? I wonder if that symbolizes anything. But like, it's just more so for your own personal growth and development. You don't have to suffer through. Are you fighting for, are you arguing or defending reasons why things won't work out for you? Or are you committed to defending the reasons why things will work out for you in the end? And I know it's hard when everything outside of you doesn't seem to be supporting the belief that things are going to pan out in the end. But I mean, many of us want to experience miracles, but if you think about it, miracles mean that like it's an event or phenomena that occurred that seemed like it would never happen under natural or normal circumstances. Yet we're like, well, I guess it's not going to happen because I can't predict how it's going to happen. And that's fine, but it's also operating from a state of survival. It's not operating in faith. And you're not wrong for that, you're not bad for that, but it's important to be mindful when you're doing that. All right, so, and something else I want to just say here with the Five of Cups card here is that like, you're kind of looking at your losses and thinking like, oh man, I have this dream to build this big castle, but like I lost all this. But the things that you have to use what you do have left to build this dream. And that's just the underlying message that came through for the tarot. And I know that wasn't super organized, but note how I was able to get through this message just by starting, even though it wasn't super structured, but I was able to get the point across. Okay, I want to read the transformation card book description, or the book description for the transformation card, and then I'm going to shuffle a couple cards from the Rumi, or I'm going to shuffle from the Rumi deck and get a couple cards there, and we will wrap up this collective message. So, transformation. Okay, so the card meaning, positive changes are coming. What did I say? Old structures, beliefs, and ideas are falling away and will be replaced with vitality and new pathways. Soon, you'll be seeing the world in a fresh way. I felt that in my heart. That feels really good. Anyways, back to the card. And it says, your soul wants you to know, like the phoenix that rises majestically from the ashes, a big change in your life is at hand. You're at the beginning, in the middle, or at the completion of an enormous transformation in your life. Don't hold on to old structures and limited ways of thinking. Even if it looks as if you're in murky waters, this is the only clearing that occurs just before the rebirth. It's all for your highest good. The affirmation for this card is, I am joyously centered and safe as wonderful changes occur around me. I feel like that card is a mic drop from Spirit. I don't have a mic in front of me, but that's it. I almost feel like I shouldn't even pull any Rumi cards, but I'm going to do it anyways, just to conclude this reading. So maybe one or two cards come through. Let's see what's it before I wrap up. So, This is crazy. So it's interesting. Remember I mentioned earlier, if you didn't skip ahead, that I did this reading or attempted to do this reading several times. These cards came out before, and I'm so glad they came out again because it matches so well. It goes so perfectly with these messages. So, damn. Okay. First card, Sacred Soul Sister or Brother. Or just Sacred Soul if you don't identify as both, or as either. So, when you are beyond consciousness, the ecstasy of love moves your way. You know something deep in your bones. It doesn't have to make sense. It may be joy, or maybe the realization that a deep inner pain is to be released now so that joy may arise. It may be that something is going to work out beautifully despite appearances to the contrary. It may be that you are meant to take a certain path. You just know. I don't think there's anything else I need to say. I'll comment on it after I read the rest of the cards. Next we have Blood Angel. In the midst of the darkness, a moon appeared with its brilliance. In opening to receive, you must empty what has been. Grace is not an exchange of equal measure. You'll receive according to the great generosity of life itself. More shall be offered in compensation for what you're willing to release. Allow for a new influx of energy. And at the bottom of the deck, we had the Dissolving Light. Why should I fear anything? When was I ever less by dying? There is something unworthy of you that must be released. Give up the fears and doubts and the belief that somehow things aren't going to work out. You are meant to be free in a way that only truth can provide. I literally feel like my heart opening right now just for this message. So, oh, wow. I just want to say thank you so much to Spirit for relaying these messages, because I feel like these cards, seriously, like, I mean, I don't know how much, it's almost like I search for them and pull them out. They saw me shuffle, I didn't make it up, but like, it's such confirmation that despite how anything looks right now in your situation, it's gonna work out if you believe it, and it will work out when you believe it. I'll say that instead. And don't hold on, or I won't tell you what to say. I won't say don't or do, but consider what is worth holding on to. Is it worth holding on to your regrets and your doubts and your disappointments and your pain, and not have any way of receiving the blessing, the very thing that you are so excited to experience in your life? Is it worth holding on to those things? I get it, it's hard because sometimes you don't know how to let it go. You've held it for years, maybe even decades. But Spirit here is saying that, like, you are so supported, you're so loved, and there's so much to look forward to despite what's going on. Now, I'm gonna wrap up the message here. Thank you so much for joining. I'm a new channel. Well, the channel's old, but I recently started like uploading. But if you would like to have more AstroHauteLife, or more me, or more Janice, or see more videos, because I think it's not to boost my ego, I just really feel called to do this. And I do this because when I was going through like the darkest path or portion of my journey thus far, watching messages like this really helped encourage me, and it feels like an absolute honor to use my gifts to do the same for others. So anyways, click on the description box if you want more, subscribe, like, and share. And most of all, I love you, and I hope to see you again soon.